Did Tesla or BYD sell the most battery electric vehicles in 2024? Nissan, Honda and Mitsubishi have entered merger talks. The UK is holding a consultation on its phase-out of pure petrol and diesel-powered cars. And Volkswagen, IG Metall and the Works Council have reached an agreement. This is the Automotive Update, presented by AutoVista24. I'm editor Tom Geggus, and you are listening to the AutoVista24 podcast. In a new format, we're going to explore some of the top news stories from the past week. First up, BYD made strides in its sales of battery electric vehicles, or BEVs, in 2024. The carmaker reports it sold 1,764,992 units across the year, up by 12% compared with 2023. However, Tesla was able to stay ahead of the Chinese OEM, but only just. It reported deliveries of 1,789,226 BEV units, representing a drop of 1% on its 2023 figures. Now, OEM reports are going to continue to come in for the previous year. But if you want a full breakdown of the best-selling battery electric vehicle and plug-in hybrid models, as well as insights into the leading electric vehicle makers, make sure you sign up for the AutoVista24 email. That way you'll get our latest in-depth market analysis straight to your inbox. Now, as we are returning from the festive period, this seemed like a great opportunity to review some of the most important news stories which broke around the holidays. First up, Nissan, Honda and Mitsubishi have confirmed they are in merger talks. The three companies are considering integration through the establishment of a joint holding company. This could result in the creation of one of the largest car-making groups in the world, alongside the likes of Toyota and Volkswagen Group. The news comes as the global automotive industry faces pressure to switch to zero-emission technology. There are also new rivals continuing to emerge from China with advanced and affordable electric vehicles. Nissan's CEO, Makatoko Uchida, said Honda and Nissan have begun considering a business integration and will study the creation of significant synergies between the two companies in a wide range of fields. It is significant that Nissan's partner, Mitsubishi Motors, is also involved in these discussions. We anticipate that if this integration comes to fruition, we would be able to deliver even greater value to a wider customer base. Renault Group also acknowledged the announcements. In a statement, the carmaker said that as the main shareholder of Nissan, Renault Group will consider all options based on the best interest of the group and its stakeholders. We can expect another update at the end of the month, as Mitsubishi confirms its involvement. Next up, the UK is carrying out a consultation on its phase-out of pure petrol and diesel-powered cars. The government wants to know what the automotive and charging industries think about restoring the phase-out deadline to 2030. This follows the previous government moving the date from 2030 to 2035. The new consultation will propose updates to the zero-emission vehicle mandate. The government states that it will give the sector the opportunity to consider how the current arrangements and flexibilities are working, which hybrid cars can be sold alongside zero-emission models between 2030 and 2035, and any further support measures to help make the transition a success for industry and consumers. Mike Hawes, SMMT Chief Executive, said the automotive industry welcomes government's review of both the end-of-sale date for cars powered solely by petrol or diesel and possible changes to the flexibilities around the zero-emission vehicle mandate. These are both critical issues for an industry that is facing significant challenges globally as it tries to decarbonise ahead of natural market demand. He went on to say that, aside from the billions invested in new technologies and products, it has cost manufacturers in excess of £4 billion in discounting in the UK this year alone. We hope you're enjoying this episode so far. As the AutoVista24 podcast is hosted on Spotify, you can let us know what you think of this show on the app. We are also available on Apple Podcasts and Amazon Music. But no matter where you listen, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And check out AutoVista24's YouTube channel as well. There you'll find our What Is Explainer videos, Launchport series and other webinar recordings. A webinar on our 2025 Residual Value Outlook will take place at the end of January. I'll be leaving a link to that in our show notes. Finally, sign up to our daily email. Just head to the bottom of our homepage. Now, back to the headlines. After a great deal of turbulence with worker strikes and negotiations, Volkswagen, IG Metall and the Works Council have reached an agreement on the carmaker's future. But what does this future look like? Well, the company is realigning its production capacities at VW's German locations. This will allow it to reduce labour costs by €1.5 billion per year. The OEM plans to reduce its workforce in Germany by more than 35,000 people, with an agreement on the company wage settlement until 2030. The reduced labour costs, structural realignment through capacity reduction, and increased development is expected to lead to cost savings of over €4 billion a year in the medium term. Investments in future products through to 2030 will be enabled via a planned reduction in capacity of 734,000 units across the company's German plants. So where will the company build its cars? The ID.3 and Cupra Born will be manufactured in Wolfsburg in the future. Meanwhile, production of the Golf and Golf Estate will be relocated to Puebla in Mexico from 2027. This means production in Wolfsburg will be focused on 2 assembly lines instead of 4. At the end of the decade, the plant will also see the introduction of the electric Golf and another model based on the SPP electric car architecture. The Emden plant will continue to produce the ID.7 Saloon, the ID.7 Tourer and the ID.4. The T-Roc Cabrio will be manufactured in Osnabrück until mid-2027, while different options for the site are being explored. Zwickau will remain a production location for the Audi Q4 e-tron and Audi Q4 e-tron Sportback. As a result, vehicle production will focus on a single line from 2027. Vehicle production at the Transparent factory in Dresden will be discontinued at the end of this year, but the company is working on alternative options. Hanover will remain the production site for the ID Buzz and the Multivan. That is all we have time for today. Don't forget to check out our companion article on AutoVista 24. There will be a link in the show notes. Now, this episode was co-produced and fact-checked by AutoVista 24 journalist Tom Hooker. Additional thanks go to AutoVista 24 special content editor Phil Curry and web editor James Roberts. The music was Better Find a Solution Fast by Richard Ames. Thank you so much for listening to the AutoVista 24 podcast.